Hey guys, this is the third video. This is going to be the bottom row of the constraints. First thing I'm going to show you guys is tangent. We're going to skip this one because I'm not even sure when you would use it. We're going to look at a symmetrical constraint, and we're going to look at the equal constraint. So, first one we're going to look at, tangent, creates a relationship where the line we click on will only interact with the circle at one point. So, quick little bit of geometry lesson here. Let's go over here. If I've got a line, I should say a circle, I could have a line like this. This would be known as a diameter. It touches the circle in 2 points. Now I could have a line like this, which is known as, well, at least this portion of it here is called a chord. And I could have a line right here. You see the little tangent shows up there where I first clicked to start the line? Now this line, if it were to be extended, would immediately leave the circle. That's tangent. If, let's say, I had a line, let's delete these guys, that looked like this, this is not tangent, because if this line were to extend, I'm going to use that cool new extend tool now, it's going to continue on through the circle. That just extended, oh, to that point, cool. So, a tangent line is a line that when extended, so not just the line segment but the full line, it only interacts with the circle at one point. This is not tangent. It would extend and go through it in 2 spots. So if I hit the tangent constraint, I can say, hey, you be tangent to this. And see, it puts it down there where we were before. Why this is so nice is if let's get rid of you. If I had another line here like this, and I told that line to, I don't know, let's say be perpendicular with this guy, and then I told it to be tangent with this, well, now we have a nice fillet, nice smooth curve that to where there was a point. Show you that in a different direction. Let's say I have a couple of circles here, and I want to use these circles to smoothen these edges. I'm going to say this line needs to be tangent to him and him. This is tangent here. It's also tangent here. Another way I think of tangent is this was a wheel. It's that one point on the road here that it contacts. Something to think about. We get these guys connected over here. And finally, like so. And then, you know, I could go in, oh, why don't I talk about equal now while I'm here? So equal is really simple. Equal takes the length, the diameter, any of the numerical dimensions to a shape, and it makes them all equal. So this guy and this guy are going to be the same size. This guy and this guy are going to be the same size. This guy and this guy are the same size. Which means if I dimension one of them, they all change. Let me do something a little bit more obvious. There. It shrunk the whole thing down so that these could be the right size. So that's pretty cool. Also, if I were to start changing the shape of this rectangle, the shape of the circles won't change. So that's equal. If we use trim, another really cool tool that you guys are just going to learn by watching these videos, I can click on these little line segments and they disappear. And we have a nice filleted edge square. Let's go over here. I'm going to show tangent in yet another way. I'm going to make this shape out of all these little bits. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my horizontal tool, which is really the vertical tool, and I'm going to make these guys horizontal. I'm going to hit the equal tool, which we just talked about. I'm going to make those equal. I'm going to use the Constraint, the sharing centrics tool from 2 videos ago. I'm going to say you and you share centers. You and you share centers. Take it a second to pull these away. See how nicely locked together they are. I'm going to say you and you be equal. And then I'm just going to use tangent. I'm going to say this guy should be tangent to him. And you should be tangent to here. Ooh, Control Z. Something just folded on top of itself. So I'm going to actually tell you to be horizontal first. And now I'm going to tell you to be tangent to you. So if this is horizontal, and these 2 points are horizontal, then this line is already tangent to this one. If I were to extend this line, see how it does the tangent thing? It's going to hit that just at 1 point. So that's a great thing for you guys to see. If I get that error, I'm going to go over to this button here. Oh, let me show you the shape or what that button does. This is going to give me all the information about that line. So I can see this line is locked horizontal and it's locked tangent. Okay. I actually want those two. If I wanted to delete them, I could just click on one and delete it. See how now it's no longer locked horizontal? I can say I want this guy locked to this guy. And now I want him tangent and see what happens. Huh. That's tangent, but that's not what I want. So I'm going to go here, click on this line. I'm going to see that's a tangent that I'm going to delete. Take this point. Kind of massaging this really close to where I want it to be. And now I can say you guys are tangent. Cool. Let's see if I can do that in a little bit of a smarter process, because that was pretty difficult. I'm going to make you horizontal first. Then I'm going to make you coincident with that guy. And tangent. Nice. And now all I have to do is extend to there. That process worked really well. I like that. Could probably do it backwards and say you become coincident with you. Drag that about to location. Say you're coincident with you. Make those tangent. Cool. Notice I never made that horizontal. If I were to click on it and view its constraints, there's no horizontal. Because these little circles are horizontal, and they're the same size, the same radius. This guy is horizontal by default. And then finally I can take this guy, bring him into position. This would be fun. I could use parallel and say you and you are parallel. Bring that down. Say you and you are parallel. Got to extend that line over. And then if I say this guy and this guy are parallel, I'm going to get an error message. Or not parallel, tangent. If this guy's tangent to this, and these are parallel, those mean the same thing. So it's basically saying it's over constrained. There we go. Go to trim. Trim is right here. And I can just trim away the stuff I don't need so that I end up with this basic shape. I could even use the equal constraints and say this is equal to that. This is equal to that, and this is equal to that. Looks like I am missing a constraint here. Looks like it needs to be tangent. And looks like he needs to be tangent too. Now this is all wonky. Look at that. So I'm going to choose to make U and U parallel. And there it is. So that's fun. See how they're changing size the same? Alright, very exciting. The last tool that I'm going to show you guys how to use is Symmetry. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I have never used Symmetry in practice before. I learned how to use it for this video. And it's kind of cool. I don't know if I'd ever use it in practice, but we'll see now that I know how to use it. So first thing I'm going to do, I want to make a face. So let's grab ellipse. We'll start here in the center so I'm all organized. I'll make a face-sized ellipse like so. And I'm going to create a line of symmetry in the center. I'm going to take a line from the top to the bottom. But this line is a solid line. I don't want that. I want a construction line. So I select it and I click construction line. Notice how it's yellow and dotted. This is a line that's not going to affect when I try to extrude something. And let's play a little. I'm going to put an eyeball here, and I'm going to put an eyeball here. That's pretty weird looking. Let's make the eye symmetrical. So if you guys look at the instructions that come with Symmetric, they give you an order in which to click the lines. You click the two things that you want to constrain, in this case the eyes first, then you click the line of symmetry. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So now when I move the size of the eyes, they change. And when I move the location, they change. So that could be fun. Let's bring in a nose. The one thing I find frustrating with this tool is you have to draw both sides first in order to make them symmetrical. 1, 2, 3. And then, ooh boy. So interestingly enough, the angles are symmetrical, but not where these points are. I could go in again and say I want this point and this point symmetrical. Now these things move a little bit more as expected. I'm going to show you guys an easier way to do that. I don't like this tool. I'm going to draw my nose. Like so. And then I'm going to click on mirror. Select all of those, not the eyeball. My mirror line is this, and apply, and I'm done. Now it created it all for me, and guess what? They run symmetrically. So that's pretty cool. Long story short, guys, on the bottom row, tangent is super useful, super important. Practice with it. Smooth, I don't ever use. Symmetric, I don't really ever use. I use mirror instead. And equal, I use all the time. All right, guys, that is it.